This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Let's have ourselves a good show. Let's start off with Old Reliable. For those of you that are new to this, Old Reliable is just the team that just Old Reliable. They always get it done. Doesn't matter who they're playing, what they're doing. They just look sound, and especially against a good team like Clemson, they get it done. Derek, could go to you first, man. We talked about on our High Top Game Day show that this could be the death of Dabo. And by golly, that thing got uncorked in the second half there. What do you think about the Dogs in game one? Because could be a matchup for the Ducks later on in the season.
It could be, and honestly, I kind of hope not. But yeah, it was a good sound game in the second half from Georgia. The first half was really interesting to me, though. I think it was 6-0 at halftime. Clemson was kind of keeping it close. There wasn't a whole lot going on. Carson Beck wasn't able to quite get into rhythm. The run game was kind of spotty for both parties. But the second half, it's like it kind of turned into one of those games where it's like you kind of have a feeling you know what's coming the entire way, and that's kind of how this game kind of turned out. Georgia put the foot on the gas a little bit and then kept their foot on their neck the entire way in the second half, and it kind of turned into a bloodbath. But I will say the first half looked good. If you're a Clemson fan, you kind of got to be a little, you got to be optimistic from your defense, what you saw in the second half. From your offense, that's a whole nother story. Good luck going forward. But yeah, once again, Georgia is that old reliable team. We knew exactly what we were going to get from them, and by golly, they put it on the field.
Look, coming from a Florida fan, I would have loved to have some things to build on. I think Clemson does have a few things to build on, but a few things to fix. Tyler, coming from the ACC and obviously FSU fan, what were your overall thoughts on Clemson? I know you have them later on in the season. You guys struggled game week one. I don't know if it was worse or better. Are they still a concern to you, or is Miami number one priority for you guys? Ladies and gents, it's football time, which also means it's betting time. Whether betting lines, over-unders, right? Pick'ems, what have you. The best place to do it is a link in the description at BetUS. And for your first 3 deposits, you get back 125% up to $2,000. They're actually just giving money away. And I'm telling you right now, their lines are incredible for everyone to win. They've got overs and unders that are making me scratch my head going, are they sure they want to do this? 4.5 on Florida. They got 10.5 on Oregon. Fantastic stuff. You guys want to be sure to check that thing out. So link is in the description. Let's get back to the content here. And be sure to like and subscribe too if you can now.
After watching Cam Ward, I'm more worried about Cam Ward because Cam Ward, I did not expect him to look as good as he did in the first game of that offense. And it wasn't just because he played well. It was the way that he played. It was almost like why he was in slow motion. He was playing fast, but he was in slow motion. And it was just impressive to me that I didn't expect. Now, coming to Dabo, I think Dabo's done. He doesn't. The portal for him just isn't a thing. He doesn't like it. He hasn't adapted well to this new college football system, and he doesn't want to do the portal. He hates the nil. He hates all that. But sometimes you just got to do it the way you have to do it. And as for Georgia, it's like these guys just reload every single year. The third string running back was playing, and the guy's he's a 5-star recruit. Nate Frazier. He was just out there just doing it. And I don't think Clemson's a bad defense. I just think that they're just that good, and they just have all Americans all over the place. And Clemson did play in the first half very well, but once again, Kirby Smart and his second half adjustments are just way better and way above and beyond anything Dabo can even do.
Nate Frazier was Ty Hayes' breakout player of the game on our High Top Game Day show Saturday morning. I think Jake Crane, he had Restrepo from Miami. He also had a great game. Allie was the only one that was way off the buck with Joey Slackman on the Gators defensive line. But Nate Frazier, I think, has to go out of those 3 guys, breakout player of the game with 83 yards rushing and a tutty and 1 catch for 24 yards. Again, true freshman coming in, 4 or 5-star. He was a 5-star at one point. Those things move around, but you saw what you got in the football field, and they got Trevor Etienne on the sideline just chilling. This team looks ridiculous, like you said once again. Cody, how you feeling about the Dogs and Carson Beck going into this year?
Boy, oh boy, Nate Frazier, a guy that I actually broke down. I really liked his film. I was worried that when Etienne went there, that he wouldn't start over Frazier because I think Frazier's that good. If he can get into a rhythm. Now, pass blocking, got to do that. But that kid is an absolute stud. If I'm Etienne, I'm looking over my shoulder and knowing that kid is there every single day. Georgia defense, typical as usual. Speed all over the place. Linebackers, defensive line was a concern for them, but not for the rest of the nation. They look okay. They'll rely on their defense during these tough games, and they just bullied Clemson. What do you want? I mean, Dabo won't adjust. I think he's done. I think he is. He's too comfortable in his spot, and when you get too comfortable anywhere, you get your ass fired. So, that's my take on Old Reliable and Clemson.
We will see how it plays out. Again, Old Reliable comes from the Nick Saban era. We created this whole topic of Bama just being Bama. Now that he is no longer here, it seems like the crown has passed respectively to Georgia, and this is a complete overreaction. But it looks like it's Georgia and everybody else for the first week again, as it's done in the last couple of years. Oregon, who's that top favorite team, didn't look very sound, especially our Derek the Duck. This is not a shot, Duck fans. We love you guys. I just know that you guys weren't too ecstatic with your big matchup against the Vandals. Ohio State got a little bit of a sluggish start against Akron, I believe. I don't think they covered either, but Ohio State's known for getting off to a slow start. I think they're going to be just fine. But, the first team that was truly tested on that top echelon was the Dogs. Notre Dame, too, respectively so, and they got it done. But Georgia just controlled the game, even though it did seem close for the first two quarters. It felt like Clemson was just hanging on by a thread. And it was there any moment that the Dogs would break loose, and sure enough, they scored damn near 25 in 5 minutes, it felt like. So now we're going to dive.
This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.